Buffering, and boom.
There's no pay-per-view, no premium live event, no political strategy, although it's always 4 more years.
Campaign, if you feel so led.
Wood. Got right there. Suave Burgundy.
And if you'll read by my name tag here, I just trademarked Yeats by Jay.
That's for the 99 and 2000.
Indeed.
Man, dog.
Yeah.
We back.
Yeah, you see it right down there on the screen, scrolling across the whatnot. You know,
a normal show. We ain't even doing a hard clock on this bad boy. We just about to go with it. Lots of things we talked about a couple of weeks ago. If you are a loyal, devoted pencil pusher, then you know what we're talking about. However,
which you should be.
You should be. If you're not and you're new to game, then welcome. We about to enlighten you.
Facts.
Let's kick this off the right way. Suave won the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Who won?
Suave won the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I know that guy. He's a really stand-up individual.
On the last episode, we had to come up with a wager, a friendly wager, on whether your tribal chief and head of the table, the tribal chief head of the table, Roman Reigns, was going to pop up and show y'all.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman.
If he was gonna come out and whop on his cousins, that did not happen.
It did not. As I tried to let everybody know.
And the wager was the winner had to prepare a statement for the loser to read on this here episode of the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. That said, today, July 11th, year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
20 and 20. 4 for 4.
Would you like fries with that, sir?
Told you I'm dieting. The answer to that question is no.
Dipping sauce for your nuggets? Pause.
I would like some fat-free ranch. And I don't do ranch. That's kind of mood I'm in right now. Let the church say.
So basically you want some stuff in the bag that you're just gonna throw away anyway.
I'm gonna use it just for the extra effect.
That really feels wasteful if we're gonna be. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Tough tomato. Let the church say.
Hey, man.
Before I read the statement, happy birthday to Dre Satch. Happy birthday, Dave House. Both of y'all, pencil pushers, gang.
Happy belated birthday, Demented the Ogre.
Ogre.
Born on the 4th of July.
Fireworks for you, sir.
All over the place.
Booyaka,
booyaka shot.
Boy.
Round here.
Let me get. I haven't seen this statement yet, so if I stumble and stammer, it's all because of Suave. Just know that.
Shout out to Chris. He's joined in on the Grizzam.
Here.
We giving out free shout outs. We got a couple people still, they filing in.
All right. Prepare statement time. Let me.
Yeah.
In these unprecedented times, there's a need for true signs that miracles are still possible. For that, ladies and gentlemen, I give you none other than the cataclysmically talented, universally recognized, exponentially goated purveyor of truth, righteousness, wisdom, and good God Almighty cool. Suave, hashtag Zell me mine, Burgundy. I shall never in life argue the concrete nature of his truth-telling and prognostication, I am better for reading this, and you are better for hearing it. 4 more years campaign.
That is true.
How's that for a live read?
85 out of 100. We'll probably get you to do it again before this episode's over. Hey, look, we ain't grading on the curve. We ain't giving out curves around here. That's for your married life. That ain't got nothing to do with reading my statements, baby. I need fluidity. I need some gusto. I need some exuberation.
You got all that. I gave you charisma. It wasn't Shaq reading. In these unprecedented times, there was a need for true signs and miracles is still possible. None of that happened.
First
Needless
of all,
to say, I was not in the back of the class ducking my head when the teacher was asking for volunteers. No,
I will say that now. Now you were not hiding from your reading assignment. However, 85, 87 maybe, but we don't grade on a curve around here because House of Learned Doctors, they're teachers watching. If I don't grade you tough now, how will you ever get better?
I mean, some things are better left unsaid. I can't argue that this may have been one of them, but I owned up to my debts. Debts are paid. So
yeah, we just try to read this one more time before the episode is over. That way, I got something to put on one of these mixtapes. Don't even worry about it. We good. Don't worry about it. We good. You'll read it without the background music.
I forgot this is recorded.
You know what? Shout out to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and all of our other platforms. You feel me? Swabtoberfest 4, the gift that keeps on giving. I don't even know what we're gonna do for this. I do know what we're gonna do.
Swabtoberfest loaded. I mean, I don't know.
No. See, I have one tucked away that I had made a while back. I'm gonna be able to use it now. Season 4. That's all I'll say. Season 4.
Okay.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. The gift that keeps on giving.
All around these parts. All right,
Indeed.
So we have. Let me make sure we get this one out the way. That's gone to the trash.
No, don't. You're gonna need it again. Just don't throw that away.
For this episode, it's okay. Not the letter. Letter's good. I'm good on the letter. I'm talking about the agenda item. All right. Speaking of, we talked about the bloodline, so why not? Let's talk about them.
Okay.
Money in the Bloodline PLE was this past weekend.
Black.
And pretty much what we expected we got, with the exception of what we just read. But we haven't seen or heard anything, a peep out of anybody that hasn't been on TV since April.
I mean, there's no reason to rush the meal. We know we're going to get a Michelin star chef presentation. So why are we trying to rush it like we got TV dinners coming? see, this is what I said, and this is what I meant by when I said, when you decide to take the title off of Roman Reigns, you better be damn sure that you know what you're doing in its place. Or else you're going to have instances like this where you are in desperate need of top tier entertainment and you're not able to get it from the people you anointed to take over for the people who were running the show just fine before you opened your mouth.
That's a bar.
Sometimes you got to pop out and show.
Perfect segue, because I mean you pretty much landed the plane right there. Rocky, speaking of Bloodline, decided to go popping off and showing people that he got words. He got a lot of words to say, and basically he invented everything.
Look, so there's a segment of the internet wrestling community, usually those who are always bent out of shape about something. These are the same people that were so up in arms about Roman's reign, and now that it's over, have to find something new and melanated to hate. So now there's a documentary on YouTube about WrestleMania 40, about the main event and how it all came together. Basically, it's a fluff piece to capitalize on the fact that they had one of the best builds to WrestleMania in recent memory. So it's just a continuation piece of that. Within it, you have individuals who are conducting themselves in character, but out of character. And during this presentation, it seems as though a lot of these people have taken umbrance with the fact that The Rock, in an authoritative role, in a high-ranking authoritative role within the company, let it be known that on some instances, he may have given some input. Not saying that I put my foot down and the decision was mine alone, but saying that I possibly may have contributed to the idea of what we eventually got.
Let me make this a little bit more clear.
Please do.
What I said and what the caption said is partial cap, but a lot of sarcasm. When you have a vested interest in the people who work in the company that you are a member of the board of directors for, that is precedented by one of your childhood best friends whose sister was the showrunner for your semi-biographical comedy series, why wouldn't you do what's best to protect the interest of your bank account? Why would you set yourself up for instant failure by doing what you think you wanted versus doing what you know is going to be effective?
Want to be a baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades.
Not to mention, cousin who was alongside him was also the same person who roughly 7 WrestleManias ago had people walking out on him because
I was there for that.
They did not like what they saw. Why would you shoot yourself in the, why would you shoot your nose off to spite your face? I haven't met anybody in the history of ever that was willing to do that on purpose.
Look,
and this was totally on purpose that all of this happened.
I didn't hear any cap or any lies to the effect of he took credit for something that he didn't have a part in. Obviously, he is not the lone decision maker, regardless of how high up the TKO Endeavor ladder he sits. He's not alone in decision making. Triple H is there step for step during this documentary, adding into what's being said. Their stories are corroborated for people who, you know, are into the whole idea that this is a cross-examination or a deposition going on. And he said, look, my idea was to lead with Rock versus Roman because that was the bigger overall main event to draw in not only traditional wrestling fans, not only the modern wrestling fan, but the casuals. You know how we feel about the casuals.
It's a hashtag FTCF.
However, in the interest of fairness, when you are in the midst of a acquisition and transition, you need as much momentum as possible. That momentum is usually catapulted forward by the engagement of new viewers, aka casuals. We crate dig because we like the albums that are in the crate digging, but we also understand sometimes you got to pop out and show.
We can't stand singles, but we will groove to an album. Shouts out to Free.
Pay me to DJ. I guarantee you're gonna hear exactly what you asked for. That's it. If you just riding in the car, you're gonna have to deal with what you're dealing with.
Hop in the car. If you ain't driving, you can't say a word.
Sweet chin music, and I won't pass the ox. But if I'm getting paid, send me a list of your favorites, and we gonna make them all. I'll play them all back to back to back to back, and make and smile while I do it.
Just so we can say We did exactly what you asked us to.
Be careful what you wish for. When these songs jam or don't jam, you can't look at me like I did it wrong. All I did was push play.
Somebody else who fell victim to not doing what people wanted him to do while he was doing what everybody wanted him to do. John Cena popped out, showed people last Saturday that his time last time is now. He's going on his retirement tour. Well deserved that he announced it, that he can go out on his terms. He also let it be known that next WrestleMania will be his last WrestleMania as a competitor, but did not say that that was going to be his last match. In the press conference, he let it be known that there are other opportunities which will present themselves to him and lend him the opportunity to possibly beat Ric Flair's record, which honestly is 19, but for WWE purposes is 16 now, which Cena's tied for world championship reigns, that is. And he mentioned the Elimination Chamber. He mentioned Money in the Bank. So we know we got him at least through July of next year.
I have nothing negative to say about this whatsoever because we haven't even started this yet. What I will say is, because I feel I'm in a hand grenade tossing mood, this is for the rest of you ICW members out here in the internet wrestling community.
IWC. I said IWC.
IWC. You're actually absolutely correct. We don't want to confuse the two. Internet wrestling community. Those you individuals who are out here already begging and panhandling for the Cena's road to retirement. Yes, begging, pandering, and panhandling. This man has not even, they haven't decided what event he's coming back to start with before you're already trying to book him and Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41.
That neither one of them hold.
That neither one of them need. Like literally, they had already put Cena in the Royal Rumble. He won that. And then Randy Orton's already taken the title from Cody Rhodes. And then they're going to meet at WrestleMania 41. But then Cena's going to go over. But then Reigns is going to retire him at Survivor Series. Like, where are you getting this from? Can we ask this man what he might like to do on his way out? Because I'm certain that's what Triple H is going to do to some degree.
Only one person stepped up and said that they actually wanted some. And that was CM Punk.
Oh, that's the guy that everybody hates, right?
Right. Everybody hates CM Punk.
Meanwhile, he's got some of the best television in 2024, not named Roman Reigns.
Say what you want to, ratings go up when he's on the stick. And
there's people on the other side of that camera.
Kicked off a whole show.
I'm just saying.
And you thought you were going to get the same old thing. And every time he comes out, he's not the same old Punk these days. Say what you want to, that man is gold.
Hey, that man got heat like a hot plate.
We moving through this agenda. I love it. Let's take a trip on over to Jacksonville real quick. One of the things that you wanted to talk about a couple of weeks ago that I had to have you hit the brakes on was this year's Owen Hart Memorial Tournament.
Hey, you see why I did that? Because now that we've hit the brakes on it, next thing you know, it's over.
Which is wild. So
shout out to UGK. One day you're here, and then
next day you're gone. I was looking at the 2022 bracket, which was the first year they rolled out the Owen.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand why in the room that in a company that has at the time where they had over 150 signed talent.
150.
You had a 14-man men's tournament and a 14-person women's tournament. When all you had to do to round out a nice slick round of 4 was add 2 more people on each side, but you went with 14. Can't talk about that. That's in the past. We move forward. You learn from your mistakes. Last year and this year both had 8 on each side. This year, we'll go through the women's real quick. Willow Nightingale, Serena Deeb, Chris Statlander, Nyla Rose, Deanna, who's been on the milk card, and I forgot that she was even in the tournament. Deanna Purrazzo, Hikaru Shida, Mariah May, Saraya. After Willow beating Serena and beating Chris Statlander, she went to the finals to take on Mariah May, who beat Saraya and who beat Hikaru Shida. You're a winner, and now going to Wembley to take on AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm, Mariah May, who actually turned on Toni Storm after winning the Owen last night.
Okay,
that
cool.
was not the question, or that wasn't the issue that Suave had.
No, even though there's issues with the bracket that just got ran down, like how we ended up giving away Willow versus Statlander on a random episode of Dynamite instead of at the pay-per-view that we're trying to build towards and match last year's attendance numbers. But you know, that's just me though.
Actually, one of those matches was actually on Beach Break too, on Rampage.
Beach Break, huh? Sounds like a really, really, really mid movie from the 90s.
Now, here's what's crazy. Let me run down this bracket on the first round. Claudio versus Pac. Danielson versus Takagi. Ray Phoenix versus Jay White. Jeff Jarrett versus Blank. Blank turns out to be, and before I tell you who it is, if you didn't already see it, the whole reason Jeff Jarrett was in this was because he begged to be in this because of his relationship with Owen Hart back in the 90s up until his passing. And how he was best friends with him. They traveled the road together. He even, went to Canada with the family numerous times. Anybody who's ever been to the dungeon has been listed as being family. I mean, there's that line of people who have been to the dungeon that are family of the dungeon. Mark Henry's included in that. Jeff Jarrett became a babyface solely off of the story of him going to Wembley to main event after winning the Owen. They let him get handled and destroyed by Hangnail Adam Page. Suave, take it from here.
So if you're Google this for me. How old is Jeff Jarrett?
I can probably tell off the top of my head that he's 58. I will do my research and double check for you, but I believe it's 58. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So if Jeff Jarrett is closer to 60 than 50.
I'm sorry, and his birthday is on the 14th of this month. Continue.
Okay, happy early birthday, Jeff, because when I met Jeff, he was a gracious individual.
JEFF
JARRE double T Jeff Jarrett. Gracious individual, wrestling legend, student of the game. So it would be fair to say that storytelling in it is very much a part of his wrestling background.
Ain't he great?
Ain't he great? Now, if you were going to take the real and kayfabe risk of having a person who is closer to 60 than 50 participate in a tournament that has so much emotional attachment to his real and professional wrestling life, wouldn't it be in your best interest to have him participate for longer than a match?
And for longer than the beating that he took for that match?
I don't know exactly what we're trying to accomplish when we do certain things.
Pardon my ignorance, or maybe stupidity, because you can't change stupidity. Couldn't you give him a better competitor to do it against if you're going to kick him out that fast?
What I truly think might have been better is if that match takes place quarterfinals, maybe even finals, especially considering what we ended up getting for the finals. And
the first round would have technically been the quarterfinals because there's only 3 rounds this year.
So there's that extra 2 people we were talking about adding. Why is the tournament so short? We love tournaments in Jacksonville, don't we? Look, I'm done. I'm done as fast as the tournament was done. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
So to put a bow tie on this tournament,
Tiddlywinks. We could have played Tiddlywinks. Rock, paper, scissors. We could have done that. Played rock, paper, scissors.
Pac versus Danielson. Danielson advances. Jay White versus Hangnail. Hangnail advances. Bryan Danielson defeats Hangnail Page. Oh, let me back up real quick before I drop this time, because the time made me think about something. When Hangnail was the champion, didn't he and Bryan Danielson go to a 60-minute draw on Dynamite?
Was it 60 or was it 30?
30 was against who did Danielson? 30 was against who did he go to 30-minute? Was it Page? No.
That's Hangnail. That's what I'm saying.
It's
either hit. I don't know. That's a very fuzzy time.
I'm sorry. I was thinking Cole. I was thinking Adam Cole.
No. I'm almost certain that Page has 2 draws. One is I think was one with Kenny, or is it Danielson that has a draw with Kenny?
I think he has that too, because he has 2 draws.
Well, you don't need more than 2 pair of draws not to tear him with this show, because what you've done is you've just wasted everybody's time for absolutely no reason.
I'm trying to think. See, now that's got me thinking. I want to say that was
I'm gonna do some Googles here while you're mulling this over.
It was an episode of Dynamite. It doesn't have any details on this match, but I do know it was an episode of Dynamite. At any rate, I digress. Going to Wembley to take on Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship is Bryan Danielson. I don't know. Go ahead.
You see what we messed up? We spent all that time talking about something else. We should have been talking about the champ. That's us doing an impersonation of Jacksonville. You should have been talking about the champ the whole time.
Speaking of that, and I will give credit where credit is due, even though I saw it after the fact. There was a graphic that went out earlier this week. It was the AEW promo for Dynamite.
Oh, Bryan Danielson has both of the TV draws. One is against Kenny Omega, the other is against Adam Page.
Does it say how long the Adam Page match was?
Not in what I'm looking at.
No titles on the line.
Yeah, one was 30, one was 60.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because his title was on the line. That's the one that Adam bled for almost the whole match. All right, so on this promo, AEW had every champion listed as the champion, and I believe they were competing. Your AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland, returns to TV, and all they had was Swerve Strickland returns. After I saw this, I want to say it was probably Wednesday morning. I go to the X, I go to the Twitter machine. Bully Ray added AEW and Tony Khan. And I'm paraphrasing. He said, constructive criticism. If you're going to label all of the champions, you should also label the world champion. Before Dynamite hit the air, that graphic was completely fixed.
I don't see people making these kinds of mistakes with other champions.
I can even go to TNA, and you know how I feel about that owl. It's funny how 2 owls in Canada are taking L's right now. Continue. But anyway.
Man down, call her ambulance. Tell them breathe, bro. It's the attention to detail, and that's been our overall criticism of anything that we really don't care for that comes out of Jacksonville is the attention to detail. For all of the air quotes long-term storytelling, for all of the different levels of where the best wrestle and all of the different nuances that take place in front of, behind the camera, it's the attention to detail that often makes and or breaks different situations within that company. If the World Heavyweight Championship and subsequently the World Heavyweight Champion are the most important figures and entities within this company, because this is where the best wrestle, why would we not put more emphasis on respecting, elevating, and presenting our World Heavyweight Champion in the brightest of lights that are humanly possible with the billions of dollars at our disposal?
Rhetorical question, by the way, that deserves an answer. I'm talking to you for those who snow.
Now notice, we didn't shift this conversation into any one direction, whether it be in a direction of age or in a direction of creed, race, color, orientation, any of those things. We're just saying
the most important person in your company should be the most important person in your company.
Period.
And if there's ever a point where the most important person in your company is not the most important person in your company, then
you did it wrong.
Not only did you do it wrong, your company is not important.
That's it. That's all. I'll let y'all can figure out the rest. You can come up with whatever retort you'd like to. Try to flip it, spin it, smack it, flip it, rub it down. Oh no. You can Bell Biv DeVoe this however you feel. But at the end of it,
it's driving me out of my mind.
And that's why it's hard for me to find time to watch this nonsense.
Let me apologize.
Swear when I drive.
To Stephanie Vaquer. I made mention I was not familiar with her work. Wondered why she was even on the Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
My goodness.
Her stock has exponentially risen literally in the last 24 hours and possibly since being pinned by Mercedes Moné at Forbidden Door 3.
That is the definition of Baggington Securitas.
When the
price just went up.
The
price just went up.
Price went up twice in the span of 2 weeks.
She dropped all of her bookings, and via Twitter, her new boss, Shawn Higginbottom, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, there you go.
Welcomes her on her journey to Orlando.
Welcome to the jungle.
As she has officially signed with WWE.
We got lemonade.
How do you go to the Forbidden Door, lose, and end up with a worldwide leader in less than 2 weeks?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Hey, man, look. This is what you call putting the 2 on the 10. This is a parlay. This is the greatest parlay of all time. I went from not on American TV to on American TV to on American pay-per-view television to sign with the worldwide leader in less than one pay period.
To being on American TV weekly.
I'm willing to bet the check from Forbidden Door ain't cleared yet. Now we know the money's there, but we know
it ain't gonna bounce.
It ain't gonna bounce. Now Kano's money don't fold. That's one thing we're not gonna play about here. His money don't fold. What I'm saying is, in the business world, there's this thing called remittance. We're not cutting checks at the end of the night like the old school days when, the promoter's in the back smoking a cigar, playing with his suspenders.
I gotta press this button. Wait for it. I gotta press this button.
So we do know, hey, we're not writing checks at the end of the night. There's usually a remittance situation. and 30, 60, 90 days, however long. But typically people are not leaving the arena that night with cash in hand. You know what she did leave the arena with? Opportunity.
One hell of a job.
You see what I'm saying? Like this is a testament. This is a testament to making the most of your opportunities.
If your hustle ain't up, your hustle wrong.
You feel me? No one has hustled 2024 better than what we just saw.
There's one more agenda item that we have, and I refuse to end it on this note. So we'll talk about it now.
All right.
I got something that's gonna make your night.
Try me.
Oh, I got you. Oh, speaking of try, funny you should mention that.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, there was no way I could end it on this one. I gotta go to your Facebook to find this. There was an influencer named Essence Janae who became a brand ambassador for a new beverage known as Real American Beer. I don't even have to say whose beer it is if I say Real American, brother.
Say it anyway. Like we're in the business of saying names and calling things to the carpet in 24 and 25.
We know him collectively as Hulk Hogan. Me and Suave call this man Good Try Terry. So
shout out to the Velveteen Dream, because without him that wouldn't be possible.
It would not be possible. Essence Janae was not allegedly, she was hired by Real American Beer to be a paid ambassador, a model, if you will, for Real American Beer. Via a story on the internet.
For those of you with hip hop background, this whole brand ambassador thing is a really fancy way of saying street team.
Oh, shouts out to old school.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you really been out, you putting up posters and you was passing out flyers, you was out here sniping and getting to the money, and you was hitting the pavement and just going hand to hand, or as Pimp C would say, rock for rock. Street team. Continue.
She says, story time. Hulk Hogan paid me to be a brand ambassador, and this happened. My contract was for a week. After one day of promoting his brand, July 2nd, 2024, before July 2nd, he canceled my contract because after July 3rd, 2024, I don't know why, but these new brand ambassadors were hired. Far less melanin than Janae, the Essence Janae. Far, devoid of melanin, if you will. She says the weird part. This is allegedly from Good Try Terry. Essence, you did nothing wrong at all. In fact, I'm sure you did great, but this client wants us to cancel the rest of the events for this week. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. This is from someone representing his team.
Essentially, whatever agency was filling those spots for brand ambassadors or street team members or product models.
They probably all literally work together, but this happened to her. And this is after she took pictures with him at an event. She says, "Oh my God, what happened? Are they only taking me off of the events, or are they canceling the events completely?" The next message says, all the rest of the events are canceled completely. The client equals Hulk Hogan and his team, she says. Then she says, I was told the events are being completely canceled, but I see this the next day, and it's a picture of 3 non-melanated models, brand ambassadors, if you will, with Good Try Terry holding a 12-pack of Real American Beer while standing in front of a case of Real American Beer.
That's no bueno.
The last picture says, I guess they didn't have room for us on the boat, and it has all 3 of those same models on the boat holding the beer somewhere off the coast of Florida. You are a real piece of
excrement. You don't like or against. Why would you gas me up like that, knowing I can do stuff like this on the spot?
Because you're a lyricist, and I expect that of you.
Sometimes you got to pop out and show. now you're gonna mess it up. I'm gonna end up rewriting the song, and by the time we come back here again, that's crazy.
Got a new toy coming. Maybe I can craft up something. I mean, I'll have some downtime to make that happen. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you know.
So, as I told you, Suave, I can't. The way that I feel the way about dude, I know your way that you feel is way worse. I can't leave on that note.
Nah.
I want you to pick a number between 1 and 2, 3, 4. Pick a number between 1 and 4.
4. Come on, bro. How many more years do I want?
Let me create this this caption real quick.
The kids get the nuggets.
We did a tournament a while back.
Uh-huh.
Who's the toughest in professional wrestling history?
I mean,
and a story has graced its way across Al Gore's internet, talking about one.
Is it still Al Gore's internet, or is copyright lapsed?
It's still Al Gore's internet.
Okay, bet.
It's still Al Gore's internet.
Thought it was Morgan Freeman's.
It's Morgan Freeman's Earth. It's Al Gore's internet.
Good point.
So one Haku, better known in WCW as Ming, as we've already let you know, already documented, many numerous people have documented, he is the toughest man in the history of professional wrestling.
So would that make Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and the soon-to-be Tala Tonga the real Ming Dynasty? I'm really at an unbelievable level this evening.
You are in a bag tonight, sir. Are you on a gummy?
I'm not. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yo, your bag is out of control right now.
Hey, wait, we got comments coming in. Read this here. Boom.
Haku, Scott Norton, Ron Simmons. In that order? Of course, Haku's number 1. We know that, but you got Scott Norton at number 2?
I got Ron Simmons at number 2. Damn. At the very out of those 3, it's definitely Ron Simmons at number 2, because Ron Simmons has given us the quote that no one else has ever been able to live up to about being unfuckwittable.
You heard it here first. Well, you probably heard it here second, but either way, that is absolutely facts.
Oh yeah, Uncle L also agrees.
Right on, Ron.
Yeah, Ron at 2.
Uncle L had to redo. Right on.
You know what I'm saying? Tap in with the game. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on all platforms.
Tell the friend. Well, we got instructions for you here in a minute.
Indeed.
Let me read you this story. So the reason I asked for 1, 2, 3, or 4, that there are 4 stories that have surfaced in an online article regarding Mr. Tough Man himself, Haku, aka Ming.
Okay.
Ted DiBiase, aka Ted DiBiase, as the late scandal actor would call him,
aka Young Payola,
mentions no. We talking about senior, not junior.
I mean, he got paid too.
He did get paid. You're right. $2,000 in crisp $100 bills for every city. Yeah, I said he got paid.
Like father, like son. Stunning like my daddy.
This is like my daddy on Ming getting arrested in St. Louis. Quote,
okay.
Some of the guys got into a fight and Ming got involved. He was just trying to help. And in the process of trying to help, he gets maced by 4 cops and handcuffed. Now they handcuffed him behind his back. And then he said, "Is this it?" Broke the handcuffs. He snapped them.
That is not a man to be trifled with.
And on that note, show at brokenpistolbc.com, brokenpistolbc@gmail.com, at brokenpistolbc on all things social. You see the crawl at brokenpistolbc on what?
Everything.
Suave, take him to the house.
Pencil pushers, like, rate, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell that friend to tell a friend, and then tell that friend again. Heads up, pencils down.
Well, holla.